and welcome. You're watching Scene TV, and I'm Maya McNulty, your host. And on today's show, I'd like to welcome the band Awesome, Frankie Lessard and Trevor English. So welcome to the show, guys. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much, Maya. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thanks for being on the show. So tell us about the band Awesome.
Well, the band Awesome is a brand new project that me and Trevor English put together. We met probably, almost 4 years ago now?
Yeah, just about, yeah.
I was in a different band at the time called Jericho Joe, and it was a cover band.
Uh-huh.
And I met him and his wife and another friend of mine who I used to date, but we don't date anymore, that same night. And eventually that band we canceled that band, and I started doing a bunch of solo stuff, and then him and I started singing together, doing some stuff, and he's the best harmonizer I've ever sung with, so, and he plays guitar and sings. And we started a different band called Frankie's Theory, but the pieces weren't exactly gelling right, so we scaled back a little bit. I was doing acoustic solo stuff, he was doing some solo stuff, but we both write our own songs. I have a particular style, and he has a particular style, and I think it works well together, so we just said, let's just start the band and call it the band Awesome. That way neither of us are the forefront, the one singer. We have two singers and two different styles of music, and, you know, kind of like the Beatles, but I would never compare us to anything like that. I'm just saying, you know, two singers, two different kind of styles of writing, and I think it should be pretty good.
Frankie, how long have you been performing?
I've been performing since I was 5. I've been doing music since I was 5 years old. My father put an accordion in my hands at 5, and I started practicing on that, and then I realized at 6 that accordion wasn't cool, so I switched over and I played some violin, 2nd grade and 3rd grade, and then my father's a musician too, so I grew up around music, and he always had guitars around, so I started plucking around. I can't even remember when I started playing guitar or any lessons. I never took a lesson, so it just was always in my hands. I should be 50 times better than I am, but I've been playing guitar. Thank you. I've been playing guitar since I was probably 12 years old, and my main instrument for a while was trumpet. I actually went to Schenectady Community College for trumpet for a while. I got a scholarship for it at the time, but you can't sing and play trumpet at the same time. It's kind of hard to do that, so I put the trumpet down and really started playing guitar just to back up my vocals. And then a couple of years ago, when I started the cover band Jericho Joe, that is no longer, I started getting into a little bit of lead and finally starting to polish my guitar skills a little bit. But basically, I've been doing music since I was 5.
And how about you, Trevor? How long have you been doing music?
I've been playing. I started on a piano actually when I was in about 3rd grade, and that turned into tenor saxophone. And I picked up guitar.
So
I was
probably about
17.
6, 7 years old that you were.
Yeah, about that. To get a good foundation with music. And I taught myself guitar when I was 17. My mom refused to get me lessons because I just tend to float around and do whatever I want, and she didn't think I'd stick to anything. Well,
moms don't like musicians.
It's more than 10 years later, and I'm still playing, and I'm still gigging. So
what kind of music is the band Awesome going to be playing?
I would say I've always described my style as if you take John Mayer and Train and Jack Johnson and Matchbox 20 and just kind of throw it in a blender and mix it up. It's kind of in the middle. It's like that kind of genre. It's all in the middle, radio friendly. Everybody can pick a song and see if they like it or not. They're little medleys. They're 3.5-minute songs, you know. I'm not angry, so there's nothing angry that I write about. It's just right in the middle stuff.
Did you guys recently partner, or have you been singing performing all together all along?
It was fairly recently. It was only a few years ago that we met. Actually, the night we met, he was playing, like you said, Jericho Joe, and I just got up and started singing with him. And it was, we were just at the bar having a good time, and I just jumped on the mic and started doing harmony. And we've literally been playing together since then. So that was 2011 or so.
He asked me if he could do a couple songs while we were on break, and I was like, okay. So I handed him my guitar, and he was actually really good. So I used to do a couple different dynamics of duos around the area. I would have a bass player some nights I'd have a piano player, but I always enjoyed having another singer, so I wouldn't have to sing every song.
What type of events and functions do you perform at?
We do everything from the bar scene. We're going to start doing some coffee houses. The benefit that I played
Yep, we had a junior achievement benefit
for
and
you,
were there.
which
Yep.
actually rolled into a couple more things that I'm doing. I'm doing a Glenn Peter thing.
Oh, yeah, you are.
In a couple
for
weeks.
Daniel's Day.
Yep,
Yes, you
and
are.
then that spawns
Glad to hear
into
it.
private parties and weddings, and we do weddings, and also, you know, because between the two of us, there's 40 hours of cover songs that we can do too. We just don't do originals, especially in this area, because Albany's, the whole area, Schenectady, Albany area, it's tough to just go in and do 3-4 hours of originals because nobody knows them.
Right.
So you don't want to bore people. So you throw the covers in, and then you throw the
Yeah.
originals in, and hopefully people like them. And
So you're great music for a retirement party or an office party, a holiday party.
Oh, sure.
all that
Absolutely.
stuff. Yes.
Yeah, guys, great. Frankie, what role do you play in the band?
Well, since this is a new band, hopefully a 50-50 role. But I guess I've been doing most of the booking. He's been working on the computer side of it, getting the internet presence out there because I don't know much. I've been playing guitar since I was 5, you know, doing instruments, so the computer was not my forte. That's more of his forte.
So you're going to be like the SEO
Oh, sure.
guy of
Yeah.
the band.
Yeah, I'm the
And what other
our
role do you
company's
play?
computer guy. I do a lot of the booking as well. Like, you know, Frankie's doing a little more of it too. I have other obligations I'm taking care of as well. But, you know, we're trying to split the singing pretty much 50-50 in the band as well. And the writing, we're getting together now. We're writing some new stuff. So we'll have some new material coming up pretty soon.
What, Trevor, what have you learned about the music community here in the Capital Region?
Oh, this is the greatest music community. I mean, it's just fantastic. And it's not, you know, it's not, nobody undermines each other. Everybody's so supportive. This is, you know, I have so many friends in this, especially in Schenectady, Saratoga too.
That's
Like,
very true. It is hard to get because you know you become friends with other musicians,
Right.
But it's hard to go out and see them because
Right.
we all gig at the same time. So it's like, hey, I'm going to be here. Well, it's like, well, I'm going to be here.
Oh, well, when I'm on a break, I'll come see you.
Yeah, so you can never go out and get to see anybody, and it's a rare treat if you go out. And musicians, when they see other musicians show up, they just kind of spunk up
Yeah.
and go, "Hey, thanks for coming." And then
Yeah.
there's an extra little energy going on.
There's
if
a
you
good
know there's
camaraderie, yeah. Tell me what has been one of your most memorable moments since you've been performing?
I would say one of the most memorable ones that I had was I did WRPI a couple years ago. It was a radio show, and it was an hour long, and that was a 4-piece, but the other 3 hadn't met each other until we all walked into the radio station together. I had rehearsed with the piano player, and I had rehearsed with the drummer and the bass player, but we never all played at the same time. So it was memorable and a little nerve-wracking, but it went off pretty well. And then the other moment that I can think of was when I was in high school, when I played trumpet. We did the marching band every year. Yes, I was a band guy. And we used to go every year and do a marching band competition in Syracuse, and I had a trumpet solo on a 50-yard line facing the crowd. So that was another moment that stands out in my head.
That's a highlight moment?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you have any highlight moments?
Yeah, actually, when we played in Frankie's Theory, we did a benefit at Northern Lights, and that was the biggest stage I had played on. So that was actually kind of cool. You know, there was a great crowd there. Everybody was really receptive. We did all original music. Yeah, that was fantastic. So.
And it's always fun being able to walk in and not bring your own equipment.
Just
and you
plug
can
in.
just kind of plug in. I want to make it just so I don't have to carry my own gear around. I can just walk on stage and somebody goes, "Here
Here's
you
your
are, Mr.
guitar."
Lessard. Here's your guitar."
So you guys, there's a lot of local talents here, and you guys all seem to get along and play nice in the sandbox.
Yes, we do.
So what stands your band apart from another's?
I would have to say that, not to sound egotistical, but as a musician, especially a singer, you have to believe that you can get up and be one of the best. And in all honesty, I would put us singing together, harmony and lead singing, up against anybody in the area. It's pretty special at times. I get goosebumps sometimes when I hear him singing along with me, and it's like, wow, that's
We
not
sound
bad.
good.
Yeah.
Or vice versa for that
Because
matter.
I'm just not used to singing with somebody else, and
Yeah.
somebody that can come in and just pinpoint harmonies, and he's better at harmony than I am.
So the band Awesome, how many band members do you have?
Right now, it's him and I, or me and him. I don't know how you would say that. And it's more like a musicians for hire kind of a thing until we get the right group together. But I would say it's going to be a 5-piece when all is said and done, with 2 guitar players, a keyboard player, drums, and 2 singers. So it should be. We should be able to recreate most of what we put on our CDs. That's the goal.
Trevor, what are some of your favorite songs to sing?
Oh, anything from the 90s. I love 90s pop. So
Yes, he does.
I do, I love playing, Two Princes and some of the Pearl Jam covers that I do and stuff. But
We're actually gearing up to do a set of all
an
90s,
entire 90s set.
One-hit wonder.
Where's that going to be?
When?
Yeah.
Well, we have to pick the songs
Yeah.
first. Actually, we just stick
We're still
Pandora
compiling
on.
a list.
We put Pandora on for an hour and go, all right, let's do that one.
We like that one. We
Yeah.
like that one. You should put
Anything
on your
that'll-
Facebook. Find
Absolutely.
out what the kids want to hear, or the people want to hear.
You do
Anything
have an
that'll get
affinity.
people up to stand up and dance is what we're trying to do. So.
Do you have any events scheduled except the Glenn Peters one coming
Oh,
up?
sure. We're actually at
So this Friday we're up in Saratoga at Gaffney's.
At Gaffney's.
Okay. Yeah.
9 to 1.
The duo thing. Actually, that is where we came up with the name, was at Gaffney's, because we
Yeah.
were doing our duo. And I don't know if you wanted to actually tell this.
Well, you gotta love drunk people in a bar. So we were sitting there, we were playing, we were trying to come up with a new name because we didn't really have anything good. It was just Frankie and Trevor. It just sounded kind of flat to us. So all night we were just saying, we don't really know what to call ourselves. We don't really know what to call ourselves.
It is hard to find
It
out a
is.
branding name.
You know?
We were toying
Absolutely.
around with Frankie's English, because my first name's Frankie, his
My
last name's English.
Uh-huh.
And it was okay.
This drunk guy just stumbled up and he just looks at us and goes, "You're awesome." Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And now
That's
we
what
are
we're
the-
going to go with.
and
So we
the
just started
birth
going.
of
That was
the
it.
band
well,
Awesome.
This was a month or two ago.
We
so.
joked about it for a couple days, like, ha, 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 let's call ourselves awesome. And then the more we joked about it, the less funny it got, and the more
Serious.
And the more
promotional
people,
it
and the
got.
more people remembered it too.
Yeah.
you
So-
won't forget it. And the play we have with it is, when we're the full band, it's the band awesome, and when it's just the two of us, it's just awesome. And apart, what's your joke there? When it's just one of us, we're okay.
We're just okay. We're all right.
Well, your music's great. Here's a clip of the band Awesome.
They tell me that I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. You're over all the time, but you're gone by the morning light. You never let yourself feel enough to care. You're playing on my soul, but I guess it's my cross to bear. And I've got you on my mind, but you tell me too long to call, like all I have is time. And I know maybe you disagree.
Hi, and welcome back. You're watching Scene TV, Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. And I'm Maya McNulty, your host. Next on our show, I'd like to welcome Laurie from Laurie's Gluten Free. Laurie, I'd like to welcome you to the studio. It's great to have you.
Same here. Glad to be here.
Great. Tell us a little bit about Laurie's Gluten Free.
Well, I started it 3 years ago. I was diagnosed with celiac disease in, I think, 2002. And actually, my son was also diagnosed with celiac disease several years later. And I decided that I didn't like to stuff the product out in the stores. So I decided to try to make a few things on my own. And I started shipping stuff to him because he couldn't have it on, regular gluten food. So he loved it and said, "Mom, this is great." So I just started from there.
Did you start making gluten-free products because of a need,
Yes,
a health issue?
I absolutely needed to have. And I would go to health food store. At that time, there was not a lot of products in the grocery stores. So it was just basically health food stores where you'd have to go and get product. And I went to several of them, and I would spend like $50, $60 and bring a bag of stuff home, and half of it you couldn't eat because it tasted like cardboard, or it was just not good tasting food.
So Laurie's Gluten-Free goodness is definitely better
Absolutely.
tasting and delicious.
It absolutely is.
So tell us a little bit more about your story with starting Laurie's Gluten-Free.
Well, I actually was working, and I had gotten laid off, and I decided to just every day would bake something else, and I started making bread, and I made bread after bread after bread after bread, and all of them would just sink in the middle. It's really tough to do it, and finally I got one to stand tall, and I had a couple of people try them. I actually had Katie's Fish Fry try my rolls. I brought one to her because she had a gluten-free fish store at the time, and I brought it to her, and she absolutely loved it and said, you got to do something with this.
Yeah.
So I decided to,
Were you a baker as a kid?
My mom always baked, so I guess yes. I'd rather bake than cook any day of the week.
Tell us about some of the stores that we can find Laurie's Gluten Free.
We aren't like in any grocery stores yet, but we are at a few restaurants. We're at Taste Restaurant in Albany. We're at Mingles on Delaware Avenue. We do several pizzerias, one in Latham, Capri's. We do Fifth and 50 and Benevento's.
Yeah, great. Tell us about the kids. Tell us about celiac disease in the kids and how it's affected them, and that you've created a solution really so that they can go to a birthday party and enjoy pizza from one of those pizza restaurants.
Yeah, it's really hard on the kids. I mean, I think that kids that are born with it have it a lot easier than, I would say the teenagers are the hardest because I also have a son that is carrying the gene, and he's 21, and of course he does not want to eat gluten-free. I mean, they don't. They've had the taste out there of the real pizza, real pizza crust and the real sub rolls, and gluten-free is a little different. It's a little more of an acquired taste. It's a little more dense.
Yeah, but it's healthy. It's not even.
And it's an easier digested, food. And I make cake pops for the kids, and I always give it to them when they come in because I get excited to see them come in. And I'm like, here, have a cake pop, and they love it.
Where are you located?
We're in Scotia on Vly Road, 220 Vly Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long you been in that location?
Just a little over a year.
Yeah, and it's bigger than your last location.
Oh, absolutely. The first one was like 350 square feet. And we kind of had our little office and our storage room in one area, and it was like very hard to work and get around. But
so would you consider your husband Chet to be the head baker, or are you the head baker?
I'm definitely the head baker. He helps me out.
Yeah. And Laurie's Gluten Free is also a veterans-owned business, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
How many years did your husband serve?
Geez. 4.
4 years?
Yeah.
Tell us about the education that you offer in your store about Laurie's Gluten Free, like any clinics and workshops to educate the public.
I try to do them, maybe every other month. I try to hold something where people can. I always have literature out for people to, look on. If anybody ever asks me anything, I'm always willing to look something up, and I've done it several times. Give them information as much as I possibly can, guide them in the right direction. And, of course, I've always tell them to, see their physician before they start doing this because I'm not a doctor.
And have you found that doctors are saying, hey, go check out a gluten-free lifestyle?
Yeah, they do. They send a lot. I send my flyers to a lot of pediatricians' offices, gastro offices, and they always refer their customers.
What percentage of children are diagnosed with?
Well, right now I think it's like 1 in every 33.
And how about adults?
That's kind of the overall. But like if it's like in the family, it's like 1 in 56, and then it's even.
It's very high.
Yeah, it is. It's gotten higher. It was like 1. It used to be like 0.5% of overall, and now it's.
How is celiac disease even on someone's radar? How do you know that you're affected by it?
I didn't even know when I was. I had a scope done, and I found out that way. I probably had it all. I'm sure I had it all my life.
Because you said it's a gene.
It's a gene. Well, not everybody. Usually, you have it or you don't have it, but you can also carry the gene for it. Like I have one that has it. My older son has it. And my son carries the gene. They do a special blood test for that, and that's how they can determine whether you have celiac.
What do you think about gluten-free going into schools?
I think it's really needed. I don't think it's in schools enough. I think some people don't understand what celiac is and what gluten-free is. I mean, you can't cook on the same, pan. Something for somebody that's gluten-free. Somebody will have a
peanut allergy.
Correct, right. So if they say, I'll make their toast for breakfast in a toaster that everybody else is using. Well, they have gluten-free bread, but not, they have a contaminated toaster. So I think the schools need to be educated a little more on how to, have the
Do
product.
you think you can offer those workshops?
I'd love to.
How about gluten-free with sports and athletes?
Well, I've done a lot of reading on it, and, again, you'd have to check with your doctor on whether it's a good idea to go on a gluten-free diet. A lot of people saying, oh, it's a new fad diet. It really isn't. If you have to be on it, you have to be on it. But they are saying that some athletes that have been on a gluten-free diet say that their stuff is their sport has improved. And it's been beneficial
I've
to do
even
that.
seen some studies done with autism.
Oh, yes.
If you go on a gluten-free diet, that your attention to detail is even greater.
Yeah, I have a lot of
increase.
gluten-free children that are autistic that come in.
Yeah, good. What's the cost of gluten-free?
It's an expense.
Well, it sells medicine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wish everybody would look at it like that, but they
Yeah.
don't. Some people will come in and say, "Oh, the prices are so high," but the product is expensive.
It's expensive to make.
It is. It's very expensive. Where like one bag of regular gluten flour is like $15, $16, where it's $35 to $80 for the gluten free. We try to keep our costs down as much as we can. But unfortunately, you have to be able to make the product.
Right, yeah. And to the best quality, too.
Right.
You definitely have great quality control.
Right.
Tell us about your quality control in making your products.
We buy most of our products from Hillcrest, which is it's all certified gluten free.
What's your favorite thing to bake?
Now I'm getting into cakes. They never used to be my favorite,
Yeah, well, maybe some birthday cakes, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to, now that I'm learning how to decorate them a little nicer, it's becoming, it's a lot of fun.
So you're really enjoying your shop and your
love
location.
it.
Where are you
really do.
located again?
We're in Scotia on a 220 Fly Road.
In Bly Road?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the customers? Where are you getting your customers from?
All over the place. A lot of people from Schenectady, a lot of people that will find out that we're there. They'll find out through just word of mouth. We try to advertise the best we can. There are some people that don't even know we're there. I went to the farmer's market yesterday, and like I said, I also do a lot of those too. And they were like, "You're in Scotia? I live right down the street. I didn't even know you were there."
Right.
So, we did. Advertising, I guess, is the best way to.
Has this venture, because you needed it out of a lifestyle and a need, and now you're a business owner, how does that make you feel?
Oh, really good. It does. It makes me feel good.
Do you want to go back to the corporate world?
I don't think so. Now, it's funny. When I first started, it was like I was going to do bread, maybe a couple of muffins, and chocolate chip and peanut butter cookies. That was going to be my whole menu. And it's like expanded into this.
Yeah, tell us about
big
some of the
thing.
things that are on your menu.
We do all kinds of muffins, blueberry muffins, coffee cake muffins, cheesecake, cupcakes. We do all variety of cupcakes. Breads, we do regular white bread, oatmeal bread, multigrain bread, cinnamon raisin bread, French bread, pumpernickel bread. And every time somebody asks, can you do this? We do it.
Yeah, I think, didn't you do, I think it was, no vinegar or something?
Oh, yeah, somebody has a problem with
or no eggs.
Oh, yeah, we do
so
that. I have a
custom.
customer. I have a customer that has a little girl that no eggs, so we don't put any eggs.
So
in
you
hers.
can basically make anything custom for people
Yeah,
as well
yeah,
if
we
it's
try
not
to.
on your menu list.
We try to.
So
Yeah, but there's sometimes it gets a little crazy
Yeah,
because
possibly.
they
Your bread
yeah
might
they
not
don't want
rise.
any. Well, you're right. They don't want any baking powder or baking soda or you can't eliminate everything. It's hard. If I could please every customer that came in, I would try to, but sometimes it's a little impossible to do.
yeah. What's been the best reward so far?
The best reward. I don't know. I think I just enjoy the customers. I really look forward to them when they come in, and the kids come in, and they always run up to me, and it's really nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like that. I guess I like to be out with the customers and then in the back too baking. So.
Now you also do the green markets and the fresh markets, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I
great.
do the Proctor's Green Market every other Sunday. I do Burnt Hills every Saturday, and I'm just starting to do the crossings too.
Yeah.
So.
Are you looking to expand?
Yes, I'd like to. In the future, I'd like to do a little teeny eat-in cafe, just like breakfast, lunch, maybe. Something small, though, nothing big, maybe just a couple of items, and that's it. Because people are always, stopping in quick to grab a cinnamon roll or, a cup of coffee or whatever and just go. So.
Good. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today, Laura. I really learned a lot, and I think our viewers did as well.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.